Rescue teams are handpicking through the rubble, looking for survivors. But authorities fear they will only find more victims in the thousands of homes that are now completely destroyed. Hardest hit is Lombok, a popular resort island full of summer tourists.
Everyone started running to the hills. Everyone followed each other, and then we slept on the mountain until morning.
It was early evening when the earthquake struck, with tremors so strong they were felt on the neighboring island of Bali, sending panicked shoppers running for mall exits. Most of the victims were killed by collapsed buildings, said a spokesman for the National Disaster Mitigation Agency. Thousands of tourists are ending their vacations early, causing lineups at the airport and on the beach. Thousands of people are waiting for rescue boats to take them back to the mainland.
We've just been in another earthquake.
Canadians are among those stuck.
Our kids were in the room beside us, so we immediately ran to the kids and grabbed them and just ran.
Jennifer Montgomery-Lay says this is a bucket list trip. Her daughter has cancer, and the British Columbia family is using this time to bond. She says surviving the earthquake has taught her new lessons in compassion.
The hotel that we're staying in, 16 staff members have completely lost everything, their homes, everything. And they actually, most of them are here today with us to be helping us, so it's very humbling.
Repairs and rebuilding will begin as quickly as possible, but with this kind of damage, a return to normal is a long way off. Katie Simpson, CBC News, London.
Well, CBC meteorologist and seismologist Johanna Wagstaff is here in Vancouver. And Joe, I know you've been following this earthquake story closely. Let's begin with a bit of context on this particular quake.
Right. Well, magnitude 6.9, Ian, is a significant magnitude, and at a depth of 31 kilometers, this is considered a shallow earthquake, so less time for those seismic waves to weaken before they hit the surface. And this is an area where structures are vulnerable to shaking, made out of concrete and tinder blocks, which is why we've seen so much damage. However, the epicenter hit at a fairly rural part of the island, so some of those cities that rescue crews are still trying to get to, some of those villages are smaller than 1,000 people in population, so that may hopefully help keep that death toll down in the end. To put it into context, though, an earthquake of similar size and depth actually struck southwest of Seattle back in 2001, and that led to about $4 billion in damage. And this is exactly the kind of size and depth earthquake that we're worried about here in Vancouver or Victoria. Well,
and speaking of worry, I imagine what the people in Indonesia are going through, because it was just a few days ago they had, in the same area, a magnitude 6.4 quake.
That's right, and that 6.4 was actually a foreshock or a precursor to this event. We don't always get early indicators, and we never know at the time if this is a warning or the event itself. In this case, that was an indicator that the larger one was still to come, and now we're seeing aftershocks. So the ground continues to shake for those people, probably for days and if not weeks to come. But this is a very seismically active area of the world. Two tectonic plates are converging together. In the past decade, we've seen at least 6 events of similar size lead to deaths in the area, Ian.
Thanks, Johanna.
You're welcome.